going on, everybody? Hope y'all are having a good one. Little update on the Capra project here. I can't remember exactly where I left off. It's becoming a real problem. I bounce back and forth between vehicles so much. Can't remember exactly what the last video was on this, but I'm pretty certain I haven't done anything video-wise since, since I crunched the nose on it. Started cutting the cage a little bit more like I did on the rear, and started on the front, and ended up meeting up with some guys down at the quarry the next morning, and I didn't have enough time to redo body mounts for the hood, so I just kind of heated everything up and melted it down after I'd already started cutting. So it looks like it has a broken nose at the moment, so I still need to finish that project. But if I remember somewhat correctly, at least, the last time I really was doing anything with this, I was putting it up against the Capra, and I was having a little bit of issues with the inserts. They were a little bit too stiff, so I popped them back open, and I cut some fins on the silicone inserts that I'm running at the moment. Softened them up a good little bit, so we're gonna see how that does. And then also today I just finished up the motor swap, so now I've got the Fusion Pro 2300 in here, so we should have a little bit more wheel speed out of it now. Everything else is pretty much the same. And if you've been watching for any amount of time, you'll notice this obstacle's looking a little bare. So it's breaking down on the other side, basically. The cows tend to use everything as a scratching post around here. They like to run up and down the hills and move my rocks and concrete, and then they come up and, you know, break my man-made obstacles, knock my signs down. I don't even know how they managed that one. It's over top of like another obstacle. There's signs down over here as well, but nevertheless, I'm still building. Last weekend I brought up 3 or 4 loads of rock and concrete that I'd been stockpiling for a while. Everything, the bottom section here, I still have yet to place. And then this is basically the foundation that I did get placed up here on the top side. This is actually on a pretty decent incline to start with, and I'm only going to build up from there. The goal with this particular area, I want to have some lines that are more mild, trail truck friendly, and then I want to have other lines that are, you know, about like some of my harder ones. Not really looking to be very punny here, but none of this is set in stone yet. But I've got a little gnarly slick incline that leads up to a pretty narrow bridge. A couple other little spots here, but I'm working on it. some of that actually came from that obstacle there, and I started digging through this pile here. Aside from the little ridge line that I run here, which is actually deceivingly one of my hardest lines to accomplish up here, everything else just got dumped here probably over a year ago now at this point, with a dump trailer. So I haven't done a whole lot here. Need to get the sledgehammer back up here so I can break apart some of these bigger chunks, because they're just too big to move by hand, and I don't have equipment to be able to bring up here and move the bigger chunks. So yeah, just wanted to give a little course update, and we will get back on to Capra things. Just want to run it around, hit all the hard spots that I got, see how much better it's doing than what it was. And then next on the list is to go for round 2 and put this thing back up against the Capra. I really think I can get this thing competitive with the Capra and still retain the cage on this one. I don't know that I'll be able to get this thing to surpass the Capra by much, but that's not really the end goal. I still want this thing to be trail friendly, especially for when we go to events and stuff like that. It's nice to have something that's trail friendly and still very capable on the hard lines. So that's what we're aiming for here. But we'll see how the insert tuning and the motor swap has changed anything, if it's changed anything. So throw this thing at some rocks and see how it does. The one thing that I do not like about these inserts in this rig in particular is how bouncy they are, but that's kind of the trade-off that I needed to make in order to have them be waterproof, basically. The custom open cell foams that I was originally running in here, never had any issues like that with them, obviously, but they were breaking down very quick because even just a little bit of water inside of there, and that soft foam just doesn't hold up. So that's one of the sacrifices that I got to make in order to keep this thing trail friendly. So just having to learn how to deal with it and drive through it. Definitely a different animal. As stable as it is, I don't know, it's hard to put into words because it's so bouncy with these inserts. But I like these inserts for other reasons. So there's a good bit of give and take here. For some reason, I can never remember. Yeah, it's that side. I can never remember which line each truck likes to take. This one's got to go up the first section on the left-hand side, and then I cross over with the rear end to the right. There we go. Definitely a little peppier with the Fusion Pro than it was with the SE. Not too shabby. Try to stand in a different spot to drive this obstacle. That sun's right in that perfect spot where it's going to be washing out the camera if I stand where I normally do. This one may take me a couple tries because I cannot at all see my tire placement on the other side from this particular angle. That might be an issue. We might have to deal with a little lens flare. Try to take the hardest line I can up this obstacle. Which entails getting the hook on the passenger side front. And that is not an easy thing to do. Whoa. This was one of the spots where these tires really used to excel with the open cell foams. Okay. I know I just made this climb the other day and I was not having this much trouble. Try to get the rear end over a little further. I think my front's a little too high now. Maybe not. Got that front passenger side tires lifted completely off the ground at the moment. So that's just wonderful. We're about to slide right back into the hole where we were. Okay. Pause to take care of a cigarette and readjust my location here because right at eye level, that sun is it's becoming an issue. Okay, I just set the camera on the ground. Let's see what I can do here. Try to come up from the right hand side, see what it does. This is all trial and error at this point. I've changed enough on this thing over the last couple months. It's hard to tell what it's gonna like and what it's gonna want nowadays. It did not like that. Switch it up. It's right there, just not quite grabbing. That was it. Okay, I think I remember how I did this the other day now. Just gotta do a little bit of finagling with the rear end. We'll see if it can get the hook on both sides at the same time here. Just like that. Boom. That's how it's done. Took me a minute to remember, but I got her figured out. Yep, that's not a problem. Just gotta try to remember that the next time I come up here so I don't have to fight with it for 10 minutes before I get it. And then I know I've said it probably a couple dozen times now, but coming back down this thing without going end over end is just about as difficult as going up it. And even though these tires have a lot of slip in them, this thing still got the stability. Now for the other really difficult section. That one there will get you. It's very deceiving. It doesn't look like it's too difficult, but once you get up on it and start spinning tires, there's not a whole lot of rigs around here that actually make that. We'll give the new line a shot here. Now, I did make this the other day after I got these rocks set into place. I made it with this thing. However, I did have a couple more chunks of concrete set up in this area here. Now, they're not there. I took the SCX6 up this a couple times and actually kicked a couple of those chunks out, and they're down here now. So we've got some giant holes that'll swallow even these tires. So we'll see if that plays a role here. I imagine it's not going to make it any easier. And the rocks, well, the rock, I guess, that, so this is concrete, and most of the rest of it up through there is flagstone, and it's actually really slippery. So in order to make the pole up past this concrete here, it ain't easy. We'll put it at that. And that piece of concrete that the front driver's side tire is on at the moment, I went ahead and put the smooth side out. So this whole climb here is all about pure traction, basically, and getting a bite on the slippery surface. It's definitely not an easy task. That extra wheelbase helped out. Off to the right side there, I actually reached clear up on it. Need to try to take this at an angle if I can get the grip. Puts you at quite a vertical angle here. See if I can span this gap on the bottom side and get my rear end over a little further. Oh. Hang on there, buddy. Well, it's not the most conventional way, but kind of got to do what we got to do at this point. Let's see if I can run the inner sidewall. Ooh. Oh man, this is rough. Like I said, this is all unfinished obstacle building in progress here, so It wasn't pretty, but there it is. And then this bridge up here is just barely wide enough. Come back down here. I got one more spot that I want to try here. So right here where that root is, there is one heck of a gap to clear in between the concrete and the rocks on each side of it, and it's on a pretty good incline. It was quite the little battle the other day when I tried to make that. So get down here and turned around and climb back up over there and see what I can do. I'll probably end up leaving most of this kind of how it is for the most part. And I'll come up here a few times and I'll run different lines here and there until I find, you know, a section where, oh, I like, you know, this part of the line and this part of it, and then I'll build up other sections of it. And I don't ever have a game plan when I start laying these things out. I just kind of start laying things out randomly and just start testing on it. Find spots that are difficult and kind of build around them. Like that little transfer around that high point that I'm pivoting on right now, that's a pretty decent little spot. And that can kick you out of the way and get you crossed up from where you want to be to get this next part of it. And then you're climbing at a pretty good incline. You've got a straight ledge on the top side and a slippery, smooth rock on the bottom. Makes for quite the challenge. And then once you get up here, whoa, try not to fall and bust your own ass. So your front tires will get over the concrete up there, the rock up there on top, and then your back tires are going to drop in that hole, which is going to lead you to belly out on that ledge, especially if you have smaller tires, which I think is what's going to end up helping me here, but it could also hurt me here, because if you don't get it lined up just right, that tire is just big enough to get a pinch, and that'll end up grabbing on the back side and flipping it over backwards. So you got to kind of be careful how you go about it. See how that passenger side front, oh, there it is. It's a challenge. try to hook that tree. Get that back tire. Oh, got a pretty good bind there. If I can get that back passenger side tire up on that root, I think I might be all right. Still got the passenger side front hanging way up in the air. Like all the way up in the air. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. I think we've got some potential for some pretty good obstacles over here. There are some pretty good lines on this obstacle. But I've still got quite a lot of work to do over here though, before it's quote unquote done. And then pretty much everything from, you know, here over that way is going to be easier trail truck kind of stuff. So nothing that's too difficult, but still a little bit of a challenge. Still got some holes to fill in over here. But something like this and my other more capable rigs, just walk right up it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this so far. And this. That's a new approach. I think I tried to take that line to get up on this tree back in the day when I had the Wraith on Capra axles, and that thing didn't have anywhere near enough side hill capabilities to make the pull. I think this might actually be the first time I've ever come up the side of the tree at the bottom here. Not a huge deal, but anytime you get any kind of a first, it's kind of cool. Well, I'm pretty happy with how things are turning out. It's still not quite as good as I want it to be, but I think I'm kind of limited by my insert choice at the moment, so I may end up doing a little bit more cutting on these silicone inserts, and I may see if I can come up with a little bit of filler. I've got a bunch of old open cell foams and other similar materials laying around, So I may cut these down and cut some of the foams and whatnot that I have up, make a little bit of filler for the very outside of the silicones. I think that might give me a little bit more stability in the tire to where it'll bite and not bounce, because that bounce that's coming from the silicones is really, I think, what's hurting me the most at the moment with this thing. But other than that, I'm happy with it. It's coming along nicely. It's ugly as hell at the moment. It looks like it insulted somebody's old lady at the bar and got his nose broke. But other than that, I think it's doing pretty well. So I may end up trying one more thing with these inserts, and then we're gonna go for round 2 of this thing versus the Capra. But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed. If you've got any questions, comments, anything of the such, any ideas, hit me up down in the comments. Otherwise, I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.